The Amazon River was once a transcontinental river in the Miocene epoch, almost 12 million years ago, before taking its present shape approximately 2.4 million years ago. It was once joined to the heart of what is now Africa, when they were both a part of Gondwana. After the separation of Gondwana, the collision of the Nazca and South American plates caused the rise of the Andes mountain range, blocking the river and causing it to become an inland sea, where eventually this sea became a freshwater, almost swamp-like lake. The erosion of sandstone by the lake allowed the river to flow east, with the subsequent rise of the Amazon rainforest. The drop in sea level during the Ice Age turned the lake into the Amazon River it is today. The Amazon River is considered to be the largest draining system in the world, with the westernmost source at the Andes Mountains only 160 kilometers from the Pacific Ocean, and the mouth at the Atlantic Ocean on the northeastern coast of Brazil. The Amazon Basin is a great structural depression comprised of two landforms that arose from the uplifting of the Andes. They are the floodplain of alluvium of the Holocene age, which is subject to annual flooding, and the upland surfaces of the Pliocene and Pleistocene materials that lie well above the highest flood level. In 1977, scientists caught dozens of colourful fish that are normally associated with reefs at the mouth of the Amazon, speculating that the area might be different. This prompted expeditions in 2012 and 2014 to explore the South American continental shelf for an undiscovered coral reef system. This led to the discovery of a 965-kilometre-long stretch of reef located at the Amazon River Delta. The discovery of the reef is deemed peculiar, as it defies the current understandings of the conditions in which coral reefs reside: clear, sunlit salt waters. Typically, large rivers create gaps in reef distribution due to unfavourable conditions such as salinity, pH, and light penetration. The runoff and sediment from the Amazon River into the Atlantic Ocean generates a muddy mixture known as a plume, as the river's fresh water mixes with the ocean's salt water. It turns out that the water near the shelf is deep, and the currents are strong enough that the sediments don't always filter to the bottom, but still allows animals to snatch the food as it floats by. The coral reef is able to exist as it sits well below the plume, approximately 50 meters, which floats because fresh water is less dense than seawater, therefore separating fresh and salt water. In the southern part of the reef, seasonal changes in runoff and currents allow for the penetration of light at certain times of the year, only covering the reef for 6 to 9 months of the year. This access to sunlight has allowed for the growth of sea fans, yellow tubes, sponges, and pink-like coral-crusted algae called rhodoliths. However, the northern part of the reef is shadowed by the plume, restricting access to sunlight. As a result, much of the area exists with no sunlight or photosynthesis and extremely small amounts of oxygen. Yet some sections stand 30 meters high and extend 300 meters in length. However, the area hasn't been growing for thousands of years, despite being alive, but it remains a significant fish nursery. Unfortunately, this newly discovered ecosystem is already under threat. In addition to climate change and the effects of coral bleaching that other reefs in the world are experiencing, the Brazilian government has already auctioned off 80 blocks for oil exploration and drilling at the mouth of the Amazon, 20 of which are already producing oil and are thought to be right on top of the reef, with more blocks expected to produce oil in close proximity to the reef. As not all of the reef has been explored, presumably 90% is yet to be discovered, and therefore it is imperative for the survival of the reef that oil and gas companies investigate what's on the seafloor before they start drilling, or better yet, cease activity. Coral reefs around the world continue to suffer, therefore it is paramount to protect fragile marine ecosystems, because discoveries like this remind us there are so many more wonders that we are yet to discover.